Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm going to be doing some programming today for myself. If you guys like this, let me know, and maybe I'll do this in the future for one of my athletes, and if they give me permission to do so. I really just wanted to showcase what my process of programming looks like. I have some people ask me to do this, and this is what I use for the protocols. This is what I use for all of my individual design athletes, and this is the process that works well for me. So you're going to see sort of my workflow, and I'm going to be explaining what priorities I'm doing, and just kind of my thought process as I go about programming this. So let's just jump into it, and I'll explain along the way. So you can see I do a bi-weekly template where, again, there will be an A week and a B week. And the main reason for that is just because it allows me to get more training priorities within a given cycle. Whereas I might not be able to focus on all those different things if I was only having, a single week cycle. And the other thing this allows me to do for my individual design athletes is that I see all of their results for 1 week before I program 2 weeks ahead for them. So I only program 1 week at a time. So, if I program on, a Wednesday, I'm only going to get 3 days of feedback for them. Whereas if I do a 2 week cycle, I get to see the entire week. And then I get to build the progression out from there. The other thing is I don't always have, set lengths to cycles. I don't always hold to very stringent cycles where it starts on one thing and then I stop that whole protocol and go to the next. That's not how it works. So, that's not how our bodies adapt, and I don't think it works well for programming and just adaptation in general. So that's just a few background things. I won't explain all of my priorities here. I need to work on strength a lot, and I've also just picked some things that I want to work on. Like I want to improve my 10-minute test. My rowing needs work. I know my wall balls need work, and then just some touches on skills and maintenance things within that. So those are my main focus points. So that being said, I would normally go up a row and or 2 rows, and then grab and copy and paste down here, and then adjust things as needed. But I'm not going to do that today just because I want you to see the actual process of what it would look like if I was maybe starting from scratch or starting a new cycle. So a week back squat, you can see the template right here, heavy for low reps. So obviously I'm going to do some warm up stuff first. So let's go A1. I might do a 2-way bandit side step. So I'll just be 3 times 30 seconds. I like to typically writing them as seconds for that, just because otherwise it tends to be not the focal point that you want. I want people focusing on the technique, and that's just a little bit of hip activation. I'll probably do something where I'm actually hitting the bottom of a squat. So I might do a rig supported air squat hold, which allows me to really focus on getting an upright torso, and I'll probably do the same reps for that. And then I'd probably do something to either do just a thermogenic warm up here, or I could do something that's more along the lines of trunk stiffness prep. But since I'm still warming up, I'd probably just throw in maybe a 1 minute air bike at 50% of my 10-minute test wattage. So what this right here means is that I'm going to be doing A1. I'll go through that. I'll go to A2. I'll go through that, and then A3, and then I'm going to repeat that for the 3 total sets. So I forgot to write that there. So next, at this point, my positions are decent. I probably would do some more ankle mobility prep or hip prep. So I would probably go into something like this. B1 might just be hip flow, which is, again, I would link to a demo video if this is one of my athletes, especially if they haven't done it before. Times 4 each way, and then I'll probably just do just 2 sets of this time, because I want to combine this with trunk stiffness work, which for me I would do trunk stiffness routine, and then it would just be like 2 by 3 per way, because there's multiple exercises within that. So then I would have that person go over here, and you can see the routines and checklists, and they would go into the activation routine and then the trunk stiffness routine. So I'd be doing that right there. So there's just prevents this from getting too big, this cell. So and then I'll probably actually build in my back squat. So back squat, and again, so it's heavy and low reps, which again, it still allows for some variation week to week based on how I'm feeling. So I'd probably like, build to heavy double for the day. And probably just like, again, I would probably put in some notes like this. I mean, I know this because I'm the one writing it, but if it was definitely one of my athletes, I would write things like this. Prevent any like knee caving, or yeah, I would not necessarily prevent, but like stop at. So stop if knee caving, or spinal flexion. So basically like rounding through the back. And then of course, if it was one of my athletes, I would put like record and send to me. And like note heaviest make, something like that. So then I would go into D. So I got through that. And then it's desaturation air bike, which is really going to take me the rest of the time. And Z3, Z4 is our energy system zones. So it's based on heart rate. So if I come down here, my max heart rate is 185. So it would be Z3, Z4 is somewhere in this upper range where it's going from like 80% potentially up to 100%. I probably won't get up that high, but somewhere between like 150 and like potentially up to like 175, 180, likely on that given day. Based on how I feel. So the desaturation air bike, which basically just means that you're doing sprints where you're desaturating the muscle of oxygen really quickly. So it's really about getting it as quickly as possible down to a really low oxygen saturation. And then you're going to have to essentially hyperventilate or superventilate to get back to a decent oxygen saturation before you can actually go again. But in practicality, it's just sprint work on the bike. So it's desaturation air bike. So it'd be maybe something like every 90 seconds times, let's do something like in the neighborhood of like 20 reps. Let's do like 15 just to keep it a little bit on the lower end of things. And again, if this was week to week, I would have a progression that I can build on from this. But for now, I'm just kind of making it up for this purposes. So actually, let's go like this, 10. So that makes it a nice even 15 minutes. And then I would put like something along the lines of like rest 4 minutes and repeat at 12 seconds each. So here, I'm going to have them go, 15-second max effort sprint, everyone. Right. This would technically be sets. All right. So you can see it's definitely not a perfect process. Like I go back and fix things, adjust things. It's art and science combined here. And then realistically, that's pretty brutal already. So I'm just going to be cooling down. I would probably be putting in some mobility work. And again, if this is one of my athletes, I'd have that build out right here as to what exactly I want to focus on. But for me, I could just say, so I could do some air bike at 50%. Let's go a little lower, 40% of 10-minute test wattage. Let's do 4 by 1 minute. It's just a little bit of flushing. And then I would probably combine that with some mobility work. So like couch stretch, 4 by 5 seconds per side. And oftentimes I would write rest times in here, but for for like things like the warm-ups, it's less relevant, so it's rest as needed. And again, if I had an athlete up here, even for like the back squat, I'd probably like specify like, I want you to rest at least 2 minutes between all of your heavy attempts or something like that. So couch stretch, and then I'd probably do like Russian baby maker on the wall, just to hit the groin a little bit. And again, I would include demo videos here. So, and all right, that's pretty good for that day. Next, it's Tuesday, snatching, power clean and jerks, cycling, so getting some barbell cycling work and some sport gymnastic touches. That's mainly just to keep my volume. My shoulder's not, doesn't feel super great if I do a ton of volume. So I'm actually trying to build that up slowly and progressively, and making sure that, I'm able to maintain decent positions as I'm going through sport gymnastics, which is an important thing. Like, just because, you have stuff going on doesn't mean that you just have to, skip it completely. Like, if deadlifts always blow up your back, there's no way getting around it. You're going to have to do them if you're competing. So it's important that you actually learn that and can actually do it. So, yeah, let's go. So actually here, I'd probably just do like the ZOAR snatch warm up. But even within that, so that's 18 to 20 minutes based on the day. I'd probably have myself in this situation, I'd probably have myself row for part 1, which again is 5 minutes nasal breathing, nice and easy pace, zone 0, energy systems model. And again, that's something that people would know because, and again, that could be, normally I have it here, in the bottom. Then after that, I would probably go into some additional prep work. Well, actually that's, for part 2, I probably need some additional mobility before I go into SOT stage press. And which is in, part 3. So I'd probably be feeling pretty good after that. That just allows for a little bit of variability. And then I would go into my squat snatches. So snatch, knowing myself, this is probably about right. So this is 6 sets of a cluster, 1.1.1. So I'd be like, let's put in the percentage first. I'd probably put it in, 85 to maybe 87% in that range. And I like giving myself just a small window, just because, and also for my athletes, just because this way you can get a little bit of personal variation, but based on how you feel on a given day. But also, like, you can round up and round down to just something practical that works with weights. Like if you're at 205, that works better than if you're at 200. It's like an awkward thing to throw on the bar, so it doesn't really matter that much. So I usually give some variation. And again, with these clusters, I'd probably say like rest 15 seconds, rest 2 minutes. So you're resting 15 seconds in between the clusters. So it'd be a snatch, rest, snatch, rest, snatch, and then you rest the 2 minutes. So then I'd probably go straight into that. I might do some front rack prep as needed. And then I would go straight into the power clean and power jerk is probably what I would have myself be doing. So it'd probably be, again, knowing what I've done in the past, I probably wouldn't even give myself a timer. I'd probably just have it be sets, but I'd limit my rest. So I might do like 4x12 at 155. So kind of like a DT weight. Which again, I don't always use percentages. Sometimes I just use the strict pounds, just because that works a little bit better. And it's something that's more specific to the sport. And so after I've gone through that, I'd probably, that blow me up pretty good. I probably need to rest. Actually, I'd probably have myself spin easy on this. So bike erg, probably just spin easy. 2 minutes between sets. Main reason for that is just because it keeps my cardiac output up a little bit and allows me to get a little bit of additional, basically just cardiovascular work and load. And then sport gymnastics. So this would definitely be an interval piece. So I'd probably have myself do something along the lines of, probably let's go like 16, so odd. I would have myself do, I've been doing like a lot of handstand push-up and hanging gymnastics, so like inverted and hanging combined on the same minute. So I might do something along the lines of 8 chest to bar plus 25-foot handstand walk, and then even minutes, do something like 8 toes to bar plus a 25-foot handstand walk. And then I would just cool down after this. 5-minute ski at low damper, recovery pace, and then maybe some mobility as needed. I'd probably write that out, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to build it out. September 9th. All right, so it's Wednesday. So again, today's like, this would be a little bit lower of a day. The pulse front squats, I'd probably build decently heavy. And then I would likely go into, again, something that's much easier for the mobility and movement work. So I'd probably give myself, again, just 1K easy ramping here. So let's say 1K, row 1K at ramping pace. I'd probably start at my 5K time trial pace plus 15 seconds is probably about right. And then build every 200 meters. Just giving, again, some general guidelines. This isn't stuff I'd always do for myself, but it's certainly stuff that I would give my athletes a lot, just because like I know what my intention is without having to write it down usually. So then at that point I'm pretty warm, but I still want some more prep. So I'd go into like our ankle mobility checklist, would be great for this. And then I'd actually probably go into some like hip disassociation work. So basically your ability to be able to separate your hips and create separation, like a skill that you would need for like running or doing sprints, for example, or even like box step ups or step overs. Those sort of, basically just the hip demands of that. And again, that would be a routine that I have in the tab at the bottom. So those are things that are all built out. And again, for the sake of time, makes it pretty simple. So again, I have my pretty decent mobility at this point, and the hips are ready to go. And then at this point, I'd start building up. I might also do some stuff for my front rack, but I'm not going to put that in there. So at this point, I'm just going to be doing front squat. I'd probably just do like 8 doubles at, so this is the tempo. So it'd be 3-2-X-1. So 3 second lower, 2 second pause at the bottom, explode up, and 1 second reset at the top. So again, really having to control the range, be able to control the bottom of the movement. And then I would probably say something like start at, doubles. Let's just start pretty conservative. Start 70% and climb to RPE 8 to 8.5. And then like spinal flexion not allowed, because again, that's one of my big things is that I can probably go heavier, but then my positions start to break down. It's not sustainable at all. Spinal flexion not allowed. All right. And then movement and mobility work. So this could be built out a lot. So I'll probably have like tabletop glute bridge, if I can talk. 3x10. So I'll probably go into some, let's go like this. Handstand, hold on wall with open shoulder focus. 3x20 seconds. And then I would go into something like an elevated cat pose, which again is stretching that exact same position. And then I'll be like focusing on the open shoulder while I'm doing that. All right. And again, I would probably build this out a whole lot more because this stuff you can move through fairly quickly. But I'm again include some mobility work. I could include, I'd probably put in something like the spine health routine, which is things like scorpion, seal push-ups, like again, some basic movement work just for health and overall good movement. And I would continue this out, as much as I need to. So I'm going to stop here. I'll just put like something like this just to make it good. Mobility as needed. I'd probably build that out, but I'm not going to for the sake of time here. So on Thursdays, I'm going to be doing the name game, and then I'll probably just do some shoulder health work after this. So I've already pulled this in. At this point, this workout's been released. So you guys have done it. So, but I have not done it yet because I'm writing this now. So perfect. So that's that. And then I'd probably add some like shoulder health routine here. So again, a lot of the stuff isn't necessarily built out on the sheet itself, but it makes it really easy. So Fridays, oftentimes I'm busy and I don't even train at all. Like I will do some movement work, some mobility work, but I won't necessarily train. So I could put like full rest, or I would probably put in something like the aerobic accessory piece from the protocol. So that's right here, which again, I might just even look it up on the website, which would make it handy. Cool. And the main thing with these is that I focus on, and I actually made a video on this, so you might want to check that out, but it's things that are, again, low aerobic, pretty easy work. So it's like walking or hiking and like with a pack on this one, like isometrics and slope, like or like controlled joint work. So again, in this one, this is the bear crawl, and a lot of isometrics. So the plank holds, mobility work, PVC dislocates, squat holds. Again, all that stuff is what I'm building out here. So let's go to the 12th. So again, you can see I'm squatting once again, because again, that is my biggest thing. So I'll probably go into, let's say, here I'll probably have myself row, 3 by 130. B1. I could do something like alternating lizards. I'd probably do something like, actually I'd probably do Kank squat instead of bootstrappers. So Kank squats, it's a good morning plus a squat, and it's really just a really good way to warm up your hinge and your squat pattern. And again, with like speed back squats, just getting the hips warm in general is helpful here. So I'd probably do like 3 by 8 with an empty bar. And then I'd probably do McGill here. So this is, again, trunk stiffness work. All right, then I'd go into, I'll probably do some front rack mobility work. Actually, no, I'd do it afterwards. I would do front squats with straps. So it's like literally have to hold my hand on the bar. Like the straps force that, and then it also, it's just a really good stretch, to be honest. So I'd probably build 3 by 5, and I would definitely put this at a tempo, probably something really slow, like 3-3. So 3 second lower, 3 second pause, explode up, and actually I'd probably hold at the top again. And I'd probably put this at probably 50 to 60% of my 1 rep max. And Again, this is back squats, but sometimes I do like warming up for back squats with front squats, just because it demands more ability. And then once I actually go to the back squat, it's not an issue because I've already started with something that's more demanding. I'm going to something that's less demanding. So here I'd actually do the Bandit back squat. So I'd probably do something like this. Put this on a clock every 90 seconds times 12 sets. 3 Bandit back squat at let's say like 185. And then I would include band tension, so it'd be like doubled over reds here. Which again, for this stuff, I'm not super sure 100% what the actual band tension is. I just know for me, I can move that at a pretty decent velocity. I don't always give banded work to people just because it is something that it takes a while to figure out the setup and how to maximize your time on it, just because it takes forever to set up. Yeah. So then I would go after that. I'm going to go into my wall balls. So here I'm probably going to do something in addition to wall balls besides just wall balls. So again, I'm going to do some sort of an EMOM energy systems work, which could be, let's just call it interval. EMOM of, I'm probably going to go a little longer in domain here, maybe 18 to 22 minutes, give myself some leeway. Which again, if I'm feeling good, I'm going to go the whole time. If I feel like trash, I'm going to, barely make it to that 18-minute mark. So a lot of the work that I've been doing right now is involving rowing, which again, I said is one of my limiters, and I'm probably going to want to keep myself within a certain pace. So I'll probably have myself row 30-second row at my 1K time trial pace, actually. Yeah, so either on it or slightly above is what I'm looking for there. And then even is where I'm going to be doing the wall balls. So I want myself working a little bit more than that. So I probably have like maybe, I might even give myself some variation here as well. 15 to 17 wall balls. And then I could have, so start at 15 and time trial plus 2 seconds and build if able. Again, just having myself have a little bit of variation there where I can build and starting a little bit easier and building into it, which is stimulating the heart and helping myself, basically have oxygen delivered to all of my tissues and not just dying initially and then trying to hold on the rest of the time. Working to make these two movements sustainable is something that I've been really focusing on. So that's the bulk of the stress of the day. And then I'll probably do some, I'll probably do like 2 shoulder mobility pieces. So I'd do like a T-spine opener. 2 by 2 minutes. Then a seated bicep opener. Same thing. And here I actually probably really like to incorporate some breath work. So basically laying on my back at a 4-second inhale, 6-second exhale. And it's just a way to bring myself back into the parasympathetic. So that's that. And then on Sunday, this is really just a free day for me where I might go for a walk with the dog. I might go hiking. I might go for a trail run. It's really just kind of open-ended. I might go kayaking or try to get out and swim if I can. Or I might actually do a workout, or I might just play or do other things. Like play with movement and stuff. So that's what my week looks like. Once I'm here, I'd bring this over into my actual training log, and this is where I'm just going to pull this in, and this way I can build out my program ahead of time if I'd like to, and then I'll just populate this. And then on the 13th, I'm just going to do like my recovery day programming. All right. And then you can see that I would typically build this out where I'm recording how the session went. I'm recording the number of sleep hours that I got. I'm recording any notes that I have for that session. And then I'm tracking this over time. And this is something that I do a lot with my athletes. I track. I have also basically a check-in where I send it out to them every week. It's a questionnaire of sorts, and it allows me to track how they're feeling, how things are going. And so this is what it's going to look like. I'll pull it into my phone, and then I'll be able to look at all this the day of and jot down any notes that I have for myself or that an athlete would have for me. So, that's sort of the process that I go through. Again, a lot of the stuff is actually over here in this routines and checklist tab. And it's just something where that prevents these cells from getting so big. This would be a very basic week. Most of the stuff that I do would be much more in depth than this, especially for my athletes. Like a lot of this sort of movement work would be getting built out a lot. So I don't want to say never, but rarely do I put like mobility as needed. Usually it's actually prescribed as I want them to be doing. So don't necessarily judge this super hard. It was more so that you guys can see my flow, see what I kind of think about while I'm programming, and to a degree just see what a week in my current training looks like. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know if you got questions, and if you want more, let me know so I'll do more. All right, we'll see you next time.